Okay, quick little video on log download. I found something interesting the other day, which you might find interesting too. So I've got my beta quad here running a Matek H743 Slim connected via USB to this laptop, which is a Dell XPS something or other, a few years old now. Running Windows 10, and what I'm going to do is start up MavProxy. Got MavProxy running here, and then what I'm going to do is download log59. Okay, we're downloading log59. You can see the progress here. Now, a couple of things to have a look at are the rate. I should really be timing this, but we'll see. So the rate is about 250k a second, and you can see all of these missing packets building up here. So these missing packets are essentially errors, and this is why you can see this garbage on the screen. So every time it gets a garbage frame, it prints it on the screen, and that's what we're seeing here. And so log59 is about 65 meg, I think. And so we're up to 11 meg here. And you can see that it's chugging away 250 kilobytes a second, lots of missing frames. Probably not going to let it go all the way to the end, but what happens is you get to the end and it then has to fill in all the missing frames, and that gets the actual transfer rate goes down. So I might just pause the video there, wait till it gets to the end, and then show you the end bit. Okay, so we're up to 60 meg here. You can see I've got 6,600 missing frames. You can see that the data rate has dropped to 210 kilobytes a second. And as soon as we hit 65 megabytes, which should happen fairly soon, the missing frames will start to be filled in quite slowly, I had to say. So okay, so 65. Oh, still a little bit more going on there. Okay, there we go. So now you can see the retries kicking in, the missing frames slowly going down, but also you can see the data rate going down as well. And this is basically because this is an average calculated over the whole period. And essentially we're not getting any more data. We think we've already got this data, but we haven't got to get these other 6,500 frames, and so the data rate is going down and down and down and down. And this is a lot of people's experience on Windows, which is pretty rubbish, I have to say. Okay, so that's Windows, so let's try Linux. Alright, so here's Ubuntu. And it's actually the same laptop, identical laptop, but running Ubuntu. I've got MavProxy running here, and what I'm going to do is download log59 again. So let's do that. Hit enter on here. Okay, log59 downloading. So the first thing you can notice is that the download rate is much higher, 460 kilobytes a second. So that's at least double, or about double what the other one was doing. And the other thing to notice is that there are no missing frames. So remember, identical laptop, only difference is Windows versus Ubuntu. So no missing frames. And you can see I'm already 13 meg into this 65 meg file. 25% already, so this is racing away, no missing frames, everything seems good. So this is a bit bizarre. So what is going on here? Why is Ubuntu so much better than Windows? And for the longest time, this sort of puzzled me because I always said to Tridge, "Oh, I've got all these problems downloading files," and he said, "Oh no, I never have issues." And this is because Tridge always uses Linux, and I tend to use Windows. So the difference is Windows versus Linux. Can't be the hardware because I'm using identical hardware. And what it turns out is that it is it's down to the USB driver, and the USB driver in Windows has some bugs. And the problem with the bugs is that data gets lost, and so it's basically a pretty rubbish USB driver in Windows. And there are better ways of implementing it, but no one has. And if you kind of search on the forums, if you search really hard, you'll find a lot of people alluding to these Windows USB issues, particularly with STM32. And it's all down to this same problem. It's down to this Windows driver for USB, which is particularly rubbish. And there isn't really a good solution, unfortunately. I suppose probably you could perhaps use an FTDI device and download over a UART rather than downloading over USB. But if you just want to download over USB using the USB driver that is provided, then you're out of luck. You're always going to run into this problem. And the other thing to note, there we go, the log file is finished. The other thing to notice is it's very performance dependent. So you will get better results on more powerful computers that have spare cycles. So one of the challenges here is I've got these laptops are a few years old, and it's that lack of performance which exacerbates the problem. So if you can use Linux for downloading files, if you can't, then make sure you've got a fairly powerful machine that is able to cope with the inefficiencies of the Windows USB driver.